I think that it's my obligation as somebody who's been blessed enough to be relatively successful to share my success story, but also some of the pitfalls that might await, so they're better prepared to deal with it when their time around comes. What I would tell you is that the best way to go about trying to emulate somebody like me is recognizing that you don't need to, nor may it be possible. I was incredibly lucky. I would love to sit here and tell you I was some brilliant writer and orator and I was just special and, nobody could resist me. Please. My critical and persuasive writing teacher, I happened to be so lucky because he was also the editorial page editor for the Winston-Salem Journal. And he read my essays, and he was kind enough to sit there and say, "You're a born sports writer. Let's go out to lunch the next week." And so when you look at it from that perspective, and then you look at the fact that I was able to parlay those clips and the work at the Greensboro News and Record into a high school sports writing position with the New York Daily News, because I had kept in touch with the sports editor. And sure enough, when there was an opening that came, I was the one that got the opening, because he remembered me, because I wasn't just a name on a piece of paper. I was a face that he was able to attach to the name, because I made it a priority to make sure he met me. Those are the kind of things that I would strongly advise today's youth to do. You got a lot of people that think about different opportunities, starting their own blog and beyond. Ultimately, you have to communicate and vibe. Anytime I have an opportunity to speak, particularly during Black History Month, is something that resonates with me. It's something that I'm going to take advantage of, because there's a real world out there waiting for students of all colors, all ethnicities. And the reality is that everybody needs to know what they're facing, what's awaiting them. Folks in America are going to have to accept the fact that we have come a long way. We are a far better society than we used to. By and large, racism is not nearly as prevalent as it once was, particularly overtly. I mean, I love me some Beyonce. I looked at her, I looked at her outfit, I looked at her beauty, I looked at her figure, and I said, Lord have mercy. I didn't even notice that stuff about the dancing and all of that stuff everybody was talking about with Black Lives Matter and what they were. I didn't even notice it, because I was transfixed on her. Apologies, Jay-Z, but she's gorgeous. What do you want me to say? What I would tell you is this. She's an entertainer, but there are plenty of entertainers throughout American history who have made social statements through their performance. It was perfectly within their right to do it. It's perfectly within her right. Her and Bruno Mars and Coldplay, they turned it out. They performed. They entertained us the way we expected them to. They just sent the message along the way. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Props to her. I completely support her. I don't think it's nearly as prevalent as it used to be. I think there's a lot of God-fearing, decent, good people of all races and ethnic groups. But nevertheless, the small minority usually screech the loudest. And when they screech the loudest, the best you can do to remind society of where we are and how we have evolved is to decry what they do when they do it, as opposed to jumping up with denials as if somebody is talking about you.